What's going on, guys?
The channel. Firstly, we've hit over 100 subscribers in the last week, so thank you all for all your support. I really appreciate it, and thanks for joining along in this journey. Now, I'm going to be talking squid jigs and which ones to choose and when. There are a bunch of different brands, and you can see I've got 6 boxes out here. I've actually got about 7 or 8 boxes of squid jigs. I've actually got some more in the back of my bag over here, which are smaller. Which I'm just going to pop out and put on the table. Pop one box out maybe. Yep, that's all the size 2 jigs. And I think these have got 2.5s in it as well, which is good for fishing in certain areas at certain times. Now, I will add up in the video when we're talking about the sizes and sink rates and everything of all the different jigs, the sink times, and how long it takes to go per metre down. But first of all, let's talk about brands. Now, there is 1,000 different brands out there. You've got Gancraft. You've got, Shimano, Owner, DDT, which is those ones. Black Magic, Yamashita, and Haramitsu. And 1,000 other names out there as well. There's all these different ones as well. Clicks, all good jigs. Is it better to buy the more expensive brand? Is it better to buy the cheaper brand? Depending on how many times you want to keep replacing your jig or how well you want the cloth to stick, buying a more expensive jig such as the Yamashita, the Shimano, Gancraft, and the Haramitsu, they're a better known brand and got better quality, quality built jigs. So your cloth's not going to fall off in the first 6 or 7 casts. Black Magic, squid snatchers, they're not so bad. They're not the best jig on the market for cloth stability. I have had a few where they've blown apart and I've lost the cloth within the first 3 casts. I've had some that last a lot longer. If that does happen, just a bit of super glue, stick it back in, stick it back on, and it's great. Let's talk about the sizes and also shapes. These ones that I have in my hand here, I'm just going to use this camera here. So these ones here, you can see they look like a normal lure, but with squid prongs. These are for when you're trawling your jigs, or if you're drifting at a faster rate, they'll dive down and they'll rattle around and attract the squid. I've only used these a couple of times and I keep forgetting that I've got them, so I keep forgetting to use them, but I'm going to do a full video on how these work at a later date. I think in a couple of weeks when I've got another comp on, I'm going to put these on and see how they go. Now, TDT have this jig with a little clip thing that you can put on the back that gives it a bit of extra working as well. I thought this was pretty cool. Flutter tail. As it goes to the water, flutters. It sets off a bit more of the bubble trail behind the jig, which will get the squid attracted. But what we're used to seeing is a jig that looks like this, or clear body. This one's a black and white clear body, which would be great for using through a very clear day, very bright sun. The squid will be able to see that. No worries. That's the typical shape of a 3.5 squid jig. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop that one, move that one over and find a different one with a different cloth and a different underfoil. And explain, squid don't see like you and I do. They see in UV colours. So they won't see the shade of a brown back with black markings, and give it to Black Magic. They've definitely got sharp prongs. This is a size 3.5 with a, like I was saying, brown back, black markings, but a red underfoil. Now, this one with the red underfoil is great for low light conditions and nighttime fishing. It puts off a nice silhouette, and the squid will see that red silhouette going through the water and will be attracted to it. Like I said, great for first thing in the morning as the sun's coming up, last thing of the day when the sun's going down, so sunrise, sunset. Great jig. Great choice with the red foil. Now this one's got a yellow, green, it's got a few different colours, a green back, yellow body, and an orange stripe. So we've got the orange stripe going across the belly, so it looks like it's bleeding, I would say. The yellow side body, black markings, and a green back. That one I would use on a very bright day or an overcast day, clear water. Squid will see that, no worries. Again, remembering they see in UV colour, not in the colours that we see, so they won't see that. They'll see the underfoil, which is sort of a clearish colour. I can't see a foil under there, so they'll probably just see that yellow. So on a murky day, that'd be a perfect one to use. Murky water, overcast, bright day, overcast day, I would be choosing a black jig like this. That'll put out a great silhouette that a squid can see, come up and grab. Now let me have a look here. They're 3.5 size jigs. So the way a squid jig is measured isn't by the size of the sinker on the front, it's by the length of the squid jig. So a 3.5 is 3.5 inches, a size 3.0 is 3 inches, 2.5 is a 2.5 inch, so on and so forth. Which I've got 2.5s, 2.2s and 2.0 and 1.8s in these two little carry cases. In these ones there's 3.8, 3.5, I think there's some here where it's got a 3 in it. Yeah, I've got a 3 here, so I'll just grab a 3 from here and my Old Faithful 14T. So you can see the size difference if I put them in my hands. Into the light, into the camera here. So you can see the size difference. They're a little bit smaller. They're the same brand, the Shimano. This one's got a brown back and a gold belly, which would be great on a highlight sun day, very high sun. And the 14T, which is just a clear one, Chimera. This thing smashes them anytime, any day. Basically, I would put it out every time I go out. It's one of the first jigs I turn to, as you can see. Squid have absolutely chewed the hell out of the cloth on this one. That's why I carry a few brand new ones in the box as well. Now, going over these, like I said, with the foils, all the different foils, and again, a 3.8, just to show you, I'll get a 3.5 again, 3.5 and a 3.8. So you can see it's just a little bit bigger, but the weights seem about the same. They sink about the same rate. Might be 0.2 of a second smaller, quicker, I should say, sorry. So that's the Shimano ones. Oh, these ones, I'm not sure what the brands are of these ones, but no weight, visible weight. The weight is inside the body, and also no prongs on the bottom, so that you can get them on the bottom and work them along the bottom this way, like this, and they're not going to snag anything. If a squid grabs them, you can grab them in the tentacles. Just what I was looking for, I think. No, has it got a rainbow belly? No, yes it does. Sort of, see here, sort of got a rainbowish belly on the bottom, bit of gold as well. Rainbow's another good one for highlight and low activity. Like I said, I'll add in sink rates and the colours on the corner of the video as we go through. Again, natural colours. Colours that match bait fish, such as King George whiting. Another good jig to have in your jig box. A good one for with being gold, good for through the day. Another clear belly one, clear belly. Trying to find one with a rainbow belly. I don't know if I've got one here. No, they don't have rainbow bellies. This one represents a prawn pattern. That's in a size 3 in a Yamashita. It's a very good jig. My absolute favourite Yamashita colour at the moment and always is the mullet pattern, because it represents bait fish in both bays. But also, as if you've watched my latest squid video, I keep calling out pink bits, or the pink jig. This pink jig got a fairly good run on our last video and smashed quite a few squid, especially in that high light. Most of mine have got red bellies or clear or gold. Okay, let's move on from that. We've spoken about cheap versus expensive. Cheap jigs do work. $2 jigs from Kmart, they will work, they will catch squid. You just find that they won't sit evenly in the as they drop down, like these ones will. Geez, that one's got a red belly, but it's orange back. So as that flutters down, that'll sit sort of on that angle. Whereas you'll find with the cheaper ones, they'll sort of sit, they'll go from this angle and then they'll sink very top end heavy. Whereas you want them to sink sort of more evenly. But then when a squid grabs it, pulls back, he gets on the prongs. Can't see any rainbow bellies. But what I can do is show you a hard body Gancraft. Now these things I reckon are absolutely wicked, and I've only ever used one of them, which is this one here, because I thought it looked wicked and was the right colour for the time of the day that I was fishing. Which is, these ones represent a fish. Problem with these ones is, once you feel the squid's there, you need to strike like you're striking a snapper, so that those prongs will yank into the squid, because with no cloth, their suction cups on their tentacles can grab that and hold that and make you feel like you have a squid, but you don't. Well, you do, but they can get off quite easily, I should say. Now, I'll get one of these smaller ones out just to show you a couple of these smaller ones in the different sizes, because I think I've got all of them in here, if I can find the zip. Now these ones I would use more so at Mornington Pier, in the shallows. Just open that up. There you can see 2.5, 2.2, sorry, a 2.0, a 2.2, a 1.8, 2.5, 2.2, 2.5, 2.20, 2.0, 2.0. And my colours don't really change, they stay similar all the way through from small to big. I like to use a lot more of the fish patterns that match what the squid will be eating on in the bay or where I'm fishing. Again, another sort of mullet or bait fish pattern, another mullet pattern in a 1.8, oranges, orange and white, gold orange spots, and a black and purple. I do like using the black jig at Mornington, as well as a any sort of darker colour as well. So they're really, 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 really good to have in your arsenal, especially if you're going for squid at night for smaller squid off the pier at Mornington. I'm not so sure about Mordialloc. I haven't fished there for a very long time. Now, if I had to pick all my top go-to jigs for both bays, and if I could have just one jig with me at all times when I'm fishing, it'd be this one, the Kuma Killer. It's a Gancraft jig. It's got a red clear body. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. But it's black, white, and it has a red body. That is an absolute dynamite jig. Port Phillip Bay and Western Port. I'm just waiting on my 3.5s to come in. Again, I've got King George Whiting in the Gancraft as well. Another great one to have. A great one to use in both bays because squid love whiting. They're two of my absolute go-to colours, along with any green. White, black. I'm trying to find, might be still on my rod from the last trip, and it will be, but the mullet. Both bays, this mullet jig in a 3.5 is never far away, along with one that looks similar to this. Green back, but it's got a red underbody and a 3.5. This one here I would use in the very, very shallows in Western Port. That'd be an absolute killer in there in the shallows on Tyab Bank and also Quail Bank and up towards Tankerton as well. Port Phillip Bay down the southern end, Sorrento, Portsea on the other side at Queenscliff. You want to look more at a little bit bigger jig or a 3.5 like these ones, which I think are the owner jigs, I believe, or not sure whether they're the owners or not, but that red one, it's great all through the day. Black as well. This black sort of shiny purple as well. They're a great one to have. And I think I've got my favourite in here. No, I don't. It must be. It's got to be on the. I do have it. It's in here. My absolute go-to for both bays are these two. The Haramitsu RR and AR. Green back, black back with green stripes, red belly, black stripes, greeny black stripes. Works wonders. I call it a monster killer. This one, sundown, sun up, my absolute favourite jig. I've lost 2. I've had to go out and buy 3 more. You can see already, it's already starting to take a few hits to the cloth from the squid attacking all over. They're absolutely dynamite. My go-to size is always a 3.5 because I do like that bigger profile of a jig, so that when I do work that 3.5 jig, I don't work it softly, I work it very aggressively. So when I'm working it, it'll dart like this, in and out, up, down, sideways, and every which way. I don't want it to sit on the bottom for long. I want it to come straight up. Here's a Clicks jig, another good one, red belly, but it also has a rattle, which is just an extra attractant. My go-to ones would be those ones, the RR, the AR, the Chimera, the 14T, the white one. These ones, these white ones here. These white ones, these 3 white ones. I've also got one with a flasher in it, thanks to Shameless, my decky. And also King George Whiting and the Kuma Killer, which I'm just waiting for to come back because I lost my last big one on a big squid and I'm not happy. Also, another good one is pink panda hearts and black panda hearts. It's a white body with the pink love hearts on it from Gancraft. They are a great jig. Work wonders in our bays. There's also Christmas tree, grass whiting, and a leather jacket colour, which is really great. And I'm just going to talk about storing the jigs. So you can see I've got these boxes, the Hayabusa boxes. They're twin-sided. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 per side, so 14 jigs per box. And I've got my 6 boxes that are in my tackle bag, which is this one. But what I can also do if I'm going out with someone else and I don't want to carry my big bag is I've bought the Cephia bag, which holds about 20 jigs. And what I normally do is, so I always hang a bit of leader off it, and it's always hanging a bit longer than it should. What I'll do is I'll go through and I'll pick out the colours I want, place them in. I'll show you how that fits. Place all my jigs in, so I'd say, all right, I want to take the pink, the yellow, the red prawn, the purple, mullet, the 2 toe jigs, King George Whiting, 2 Chimeras, and Kuma Killers, and a couple of hard bodies as well. So I'd load them up. I'll only have to carry one little bag with me. I've got leader, I've got scissors, and I've got everything else. Always make sure you wash your jigs in fresh water when you get home as well. You do not want them to get rust on them. I have got some jigs that I've had for ages and I've forgotten to wash. They've got a bit of rust on them and now I've got to sort of sand them back. So they sort of stay in my boat, and they stay in my boat for spare jigs for whenever I'm out and I need a jig quick and I don't have a squid rod or squid gear with me. You never know when a squid's going to turn up. You could be in 20 metres of water and you could pull a bait up and a squid could chase it up. Alright guys, that covers pretty much everything to do with squid jigs, storing them, bags, sizes, colours. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favourite colour jig is, what favourite foil you use. If this is your first time squid fishing, good luck. Best of luck on your journey with the squid. Once you get hooked on the first one, you'll never look back and you'll have an addiction like the rest of us that just buy jigs to keep catching more. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you did like this video, please hit the like, hit subscribe. Plenty more videos coming. There's more in the squid series and more on the chasing of the big gummies in the top end of Western Port. Catch you in the next video, guys. See you then.